Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar.
Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar.
Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar.
Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar, Jaya Nitai Gaura Sundar.
Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe.
Radha Madhava, Radha
Jaya Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Shama Sundar, Shri Radhe.
Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Shama Sundar, Shri Radhe.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Thank you very much. You should go for the Kirtan Mela in Mayapur, you know. Sometimes there are so many skills, devotee skills outside of devotional skills outside of India, but no, we don't see them in Mayapur. So, yeah, what's wrong? You should go to Mayapur for the Kirtan Mela. Yeah. When you have some skills, in ISKCON, we have such a society that if you have some skills, you have to utilize it in Krishna service. You have to go to, get yourself known so that it could be of utility. Prabhupada say utility is the principle. Yeah, you could also argue that, well, I'm doing it here. But we want to also see especially devotees from the West, coming to Mayapur to, engage in this type of devotional events. And, so, yeah, try. I mean, I met to some devotees, a couple in New Jersey, and that guy and his wife, they blow my mind off. They just too expert. So I said, you're such an expert in the field that you need to also, bring yourself up. Let the international community know you. Yeah, it could be more useful to the global society than local. Yes, we should think globally while we act locally. But yeah, when we have skills, humility is there, but there are certain things that we need to, move forward with. Especially singing is one of those things that does not require so much of a difficulty for people to just join and participate. That's why the musicians they make so many devotees. So yeah. Could think about that line. Yes, what's the next thing?
Maharaja will introduce you and we can.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining us in this moment. Thank you very much for joining this evening. First of all, I would like to introduce His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Swami. Bhakti Vasudeva Swami is an initiating guru in our ISKCON movement. He's a disciple. He got his first initiation from His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami, and then he took his sannyas initiation from His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. Maharaj, like I said, he's an initiating guru. He's part of the Shastric Advisory Council, the Sabha, the Spiritual Advisors Bhagavata Assembly, that gives advisors to the GBC body. Maharaj also has a PhD in applied management and decision sciences. Maharaj, on the instruction of his guru, he got his PhD because most of you know Bhakti Tirtha Swami is very much into academics and he encourages everybody. Likewise, Maharaj also encourages, he met with our youth yesterday. His instruction was, you all have to excel in your, in not only in your spirituality, but also in your material skills, because that's how you can reach out to the global world and also play a big role in the society. So he's very encouraging to the youth. And last but not the least, Maharaj he spoke to the youth yesterday. He's very practical. He gives practical advice both to, and for those of you who have been joining the Bhagavatam class in the morning, you've heard him how practically he gives advices. So please feel free to ask your questions and whatnot. Let us all welcome Maharaj by loudly saying, Haribo! 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 And today's topic, Maharaj requested the host to pick a topic. Sundari Leela Mataji and Gadadhar Chandra Prabhu, they picked a topic. Their topic was how to give Krishna consciousness to the next generation. At the same time, as the next generation, most of us are grihasthas, soon to be vanaprasthas. As the next generation leaves and we become vanaprasthas, how to sustain our Krishna consciousness, and continue with the same enthusiasm, So Maharaj will be speaking on that topic.
Om Gyanatmirandasya Gyanajana Salakaya Saksura Manitam Jena Tasmai Si Gurubhe Namaha Sachetaya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantika Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodata Godadhai Puspavanto Chito Chandu Tamand Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Sagor Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Itinam Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pasatya Disatarine Vancha Kalpatari Vicha Kripa Sundhya Evacha Patitana Vyo Vaishnavi Vyo Nama. So I'm feeling fortunate to be able to come to have your association, because association is what sustains the life of the devotee. I'm trying to be a devotee. I'm not there yet. So I pray that one day I'm there. So essentially, when we came to devotional life, we came with a lot of, most people, they come with a lot of frenzy in enthusiasm. And we continue to serve, associate, preach. And as time goes on, our enthusiasm seems to wane. So one of the common questions being asked is, how can I sustain my enthusiasm? Like, the early days I joined. Yeah. I mean, it's like you have a smartphone, when it is new, when you just get it from Apple, batteries, poker. But as the years go by, battery is creating some problems, I'm saying it out of my own experience because I changed my phone when I came back from India. When I came back to New York, I asked the devotee, my disciple who bought the phone for me, that hey, this phone is just giving me a lot of problems because you charge it, and then as soon as you bring it up from the charger, it just runs. So our devotional life also we experience some apparent depletion in our enthusiasm. So the common question that we experience, we hear, is how can we maintain our enthusiasm? Just like the old days. Bhakti used to say, we have to rejoin the Krishna consciousness. So the process of rejoining implies that, when we came, we were very meticulous. We up to detail, Parker. We don't want to miss anything. The programs, we attend all the programs, And for those devotees who are living in a temple, before even 3 o'clock, they are up, they're chanting. So we have to think about when we join the type of devotional strategies that we were implementing that, invoke that type of enthusiasm. Yes, understandably, we have carried a lot of pious merit from previous lives that impel that enthusiasm. And so when the enthusiasm is waning, we can understand that there is a depletion in our spiritual bank balance. So there needs to be some devotional reinforcement. I mean, it's like you have some money, you'll be putting some money in your account, and when you need to buy a car if you need to buy a Tesla or what's the other car? What is the name? Lagu what? Yeah, so if you want to go by all this high profile, infrastructures, you have to have the money. If even you don't have the money, you have had a lot of money with the banking system, and so they know you, and they can stand for you. They can vouch for you. Or this guy, we know him. Or this lady, we know him. She's a good customer. He's a good customer. The bank will give you the money. In some cases, you don't even need the collateral. They know you. You have money in your account. So they know you. So, in a similar way, when we have a lot of pious merit, pious credit in our spiritual devotional account, that enthusiasm is always there. But as we deplete in our devotional enthusiasm, we can understand that we need to reinforce. We need to put some credit. We need to put some money. The money is being used up. If your money is used up in account, you might have had maybe $1 billion in your account, but if the money is being used up, it may be difficult for you to get things done because the bank may need a collateral beside your bank account. because you don't have sufficient money in the account. They will respect you, they will honor you, but this is business. So similarly, spiritual life also means that we have to constantly make sure that our devotional bank balance is full, because that will enable enthusiasm. How do we maintain a full devotional bank balance? By rejoining Krishna consciousness. So we go back, we reflect back in the beginning. When we join, what are the things we were doing? We get up early to do our chanting. Practically, almost every year we go on pilgrimage. We go, if you go on pilgrimage to a place like Mayapur or Vrindavan, you will see practically how your enthusiasm has really skyrocketed. The problem is, that's my own lived experience. The problem is when you go to the dam, to live becomes a challenge. It's like you're glued. You have to live. It's like you'll be regretting, why do I have to go? I mean, I found this in my own life a lot of times, and the only thing that gives me the motivation to live is that, hey, my Guru Maharaja this year should come and stay here. Go and preach. Come on, get out from this place. Yeah, so we should make our schedules in such a way that we fit in going for the pilgrimage, because that helps a lot in revamping our enthusiasm. I can give you an example, basically scientific example, because sometimes we say things and then, those who are scientific minded, they say, but, this is just preaching, huh? You want people to come to Mayapur and Vrindavan, huh? What's your proof? That this is going to help me in my devotional life. This is going to boost my enthusiasm. Now, in 1938-39, there was a German psychologist. His name is Professor Lewin. And Lewin developed a theory called the field. In the field theory, he brought to bear how the environment impacts on our behavior, impacts on our values, impacts on our consciousness. And we can see that, we can demonstrate that physically. If you go into a cold room, no matter how many jackets you put on, after some time, the cold will penetrate all those layers of jacket right down to your skin. Yeah. That is the field. You enter the field, it has an impact on your behavior, on your values. So this is one of the reasons why the acharyas emphasize, don't go and hang out in brothels. What's going on in the brothels? Completely unethical, undevotional activities. You may feel, I'm here, nothing is happening to me. My consciousness is still clear. All right, if you stay there for a longer time, you see how the environment starts to impact on you. So, going to the dam is established based on the theory of the field. See, tell me one thing in Krishna consciousness we practice, and I'll give you the scientific undertone. Just tell me one thing from the inauguration of the Sankirtan movement to anything you can think of. Yeah. There are theories in the management science and social sciences field that back up any damn thing we do in Krishna consciousness. Oh, yeah. The Sankirtan movement itself was found on the principle of synergy. Synergy is a model where the management scientists use for high productivity and high performance. What does it imply? When two or more people come together to perform an act or service, the result is always greater than the individuals performing that same service and bringing the results of those individuals together. That is the principle of synergy. And the Harinam movement is found on the principle of synergy. Otherwise, Lord Chaitanya could say, hey guys, stay in your homes, stay in your rooms, lock up yourself and chant. He said, hey, come on. Let's come. Let's have Harinam. Let's chant together. Because the impact, the effect, the positive effect is far greater than individuals locking up themselves in their rooms and doing the same chanting. So yeah, the field theory explains or gives a buttress why we need to have association, why we need Sangha, why we need that spiritual devotional environment that is conducive for boosting our enthusiasm. So, when was the last time you went to the dam?
Last year was in October now.
Very, very recent. What about you? Same. And you?
Last year.
Eh?
Last year.
Good. Yeah, so we should be doing that. And if you're going on pilgrimage, you resonate with what I'm saying. So that one of the processes of rejoining, and when we even do come back from pilgrimage, we should be in a mood of helping out to spread the message of Godhead, to spread the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because we go for reinforcement, and when we come, it's like the military. They get reinforcement, but for what? To go to the war front and fight. So our process is that of spiritual reinforcement. Going to the dam helps us to get the spiritual reinforcement, the devotional reinforcement. Coming to have sadhu sangha helps us to boost our enthusiasm, to leverage, to revamp our enthusiasm. Because each time we come together, there is more of the interactions that goes on the subtle plane than the physical. And that is explained in osmotic principle. In physics, there is this concept called osmotic pressure. What does it mean? When two liquids, say, two bowls of liquids are separated by a membrane, the strong solution will always draw the weaker solution. That gives us some insight about the principle of association, Sangha. Oh yeah. When we have the Sangha, there is always that beneficial factor that comes with meeting with the devotee, with having the darshan of the deities. Whether we like it or not, we get some leverage. Just like whether you like it or not, if you put your hand into the fire will hit you, if not burn you, okay? So, it is important that we are conscious about what we are doing. That's another factor. Because the mentality we have in our services matters a lot in leveraging our enthusiasm. I give an example. Say, two devotees go to the same altar to perform puja. Say at your altar there, your big deity is there at the temple. The two devotees, they do it at different times. But the same time, the same service. Say, somebody does it Tuesday morning, another person does it Wednesday morning. They don't necessarily get the same results. Why? Because of the disposition of the devotee, because of the consciousness. We don't have the same consciousness. And therefore, the important factor in our lives should be about raising our consciousness. Raising our consciousness. How do we do that? By looking at the appropriate things that we've been doing in the past that help to sustain high consciousness. And one of them is our japa. Waking up early in the morning to be able to do our japa. And the japa is like the food that anyone, any professional, any student will eat before going out for class, going to school, or going to their office. If you say you want to fast every day to go to work, you may lose your job. Oh, yeah. Because your manager or your director will notice one day that this guy is too sluggish. What is going on with you? Yeah. You're not performing. And you may get a query. So, in a similar way, if we don't perform our sadhana when we go out, we're not always free. We'll always be in anxiety. Oh, I've not chanted my rounds. Oh, I have not chanted my rounds. Oh, I have not done this. Oh, I have not done this. So then you end up not even being focused on your professional obligation. But if we wake up early to perform our sadhana before we go out, we are just happily disposed. And sometimes in the office, someone will ask you, did you take some wine today? You seem to so happy. You seem so happy. What's going on with you? Yeah, so they are simple things, but they help to sustain our enthusiasm in devotional life. They help to reinvent and refocus ourselves in Krishna consciousness. The simple things matter a lot in Krishna consciousness. I'll give an example. If someone is a vegetarian in Krishna consciousness, that's a difference. Huh? That's a difference between a vegetarian and being a Krishnatarian. Okay? A Krishnatarian means you always will want to eat what is offered to Krishna. A vegetarian means you can go into the buga, any of these restaurants and then order them to give you some buffet or some pizza or something like that, and you just enjoy it. There's no meat there. It's vegetarian or vegan. But it does have an impact on our consciousness in the long run. They are simple things, but impact on us in the long run. So Prabhupada gave us all of these dynamic principles to sustain our enthusiasm. We should also endeavor to read every day. Reading Prabhupada's books is so essential. Now there is also a way of systematically studying Prabhupada's books. So I just got a mail from somebody, Adimano. I said, I've been Adimano, I came to do the Veda course, and now I'm planning like this, I'm planning like that. Yeah, so why these causes have been developed to help to sustain our enthusiasm in Krishna consciousness. Yeah, the knowledge base is there for us to broaden our knowledge base in Krishna consciousness. But even beyond that is to have that connection with Prabhupada, connection with Krishna. Because Lord Krishna mentions in the Padma Purana, in his conversations with Arjuna, that the Bhagavad Gita is not different from him. Vishnu mentioned in the Gita Mahatmya, in his conversation with Lasmiji, that the Bhagavad Gita is not different from him. So, reading the Bhagavad Gita is like another type of puja, We are worshiping Krishna with our intelligence. And if we are consciously doing that, if we do that with conscientiousness, it helps us to give a leverage in our enthusiasm in Krishna consciousness. I read every day. If even one line of Prabhupada's books, raise up your hand. I read every day. Even one line of Prabhupada's books. So we should read every day. Just like we chant every day, if even it's just one paragraph. Because the reading helps to purify the senses and the mind. Just like the Gita is not different from Krishna. The Bhagavatam is called the book Bhagavat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifested in the form of a literature. Because this is the work of Srila Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is a literal incarnation of the Lord, and what he has written down is not different from him. This is where we have the absoluteness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Brahma Samhita, it is mentioned that Krishna, it changes his limbs. We use our mouth and tongue for eating, okay? Krishna can use his eyes to eat. He glances on the boga, it becomes prasada. Who knows that verse in the Brahma Samhita? Yes, because thank you. So, Lord Krishna is absolute. He doesn't necessarily need use his hands to go and pick the boga and then start eating. He could do that if he deems fit, according to the exchange, based on the exchange with the devotee. But essentially, he glances over the food and he has eaten. Is there anybody here who can just glance over some food and it is food? Anybody?
Will be more hungry.
Yeah, so this is why he's called the Supreme Absolute Truth. So, yeah, we're talking about how to maintain enthusiasm in our devotional life. Our children are growing up. Some of them will be moving to college. Some of them will choose to be on college campus. And again, some challenge could be there for some families. You feel you go back to square one, you're just by yourself and your spouse. Yeah. Are you prepared for that? Be prepared for that because it's going to happen. Better to be ready. I remember at home I stayed in New Jersey. This girl, she's 17 now. So she's preparing to go to college. But the mother told me that when she was little, going to school, the boss will come. She said, Mama, I'm not going with the bus. I will either walk to school or you drive me to school. Choose one. And see, why? She said, what am I going to do with all these kids there? They will just be making noise in the bus. That's the same girl when I came to their home now. The mother told me, this girl said she's not going to go, she's not living in the house. She has her own car. Okay. She's not living in the house. She's going to drive to school and come back home every damn day. So the parents will allow her to, if she wants to go and stay on campus. But she said, no, she's not going to stay on campus. To go and stay on campus to do what? All those people? What am I going to gain from them? She said she would go from home to school every day. She would drive to school and come back. So some of the kids, they may not leave you, okay? Don't be afraid. They may decide not to leave you. But we have to understand one thing, that when the child gets a particular stage, a particular age, they have their options. When they universally, according to the United Nations, when the child is 18, they have their independence. They have their choice. So this is the challenge of being a parent, because you love your child so much at the time that you want them to be around, so that you hang out and have some deep discussions, and they may say, well, I'm going to stay on campus. Papa, I'm going to stay on campus. I prefer campus. What can you do? So these external things we should not allow these external things to wane our enthusiasm. But they do have an impact on our devotional life. The child moving out to go stay on campus, some parents, that could have a serious impact on their devotional sadhana, because they feel the vacuum in their lives. Of course, not every child will want to go and stay on campus, but majority of the children, they want to go and stay on campus. So we should be prepared, because if we don't prepare and then some of the events transpire, and then we just say, oh, but Krishna, why are you doing this to me? If it is not something that is so grave, why would we have to be in anxiety unnecessarily? So we should prepare our minds for the future. Because when the children leave, we may even feel lonely. Oh, yeah. And that may even affect our sadhana. That's the point. That may affect our enthusiasm in devotional life. But if we prepare ahead of time, and when that scenario comes to play, we will not become so affected. It's called strategic thinking. We don't wait. We don't plan. In fact, sometimes, I've had some devotees say, no, what's your plan? I don't have any plans. I just depend on Krishna. I just leave everything for Krishna. Okay, no problem. But can I tell you what Prabhupada said about planning? Yeah, Prabhupada said, make your plans and hang it on Krishna like a garland. So if Krishna sanctions it, okay. If he has a different plan from ours, okay. But we have to plan ahead, so that we're not taken by surprise. Just like even for the next day, for our sadhana for the next day, to maintain our enthusiasm, we have to plan ahead of time. What time am I going to go to sleep? What time am I going to wake up tomorrow, so that I can do my sadhana before going to work or before going to school? If there is no planning, then we're really planning to fail. And when we fail ourselves, we will not be happy. So that also may affect our devotional enthusiasm. So strategic planning is an essential factor regarding our day-to-day devotional inputs, a devotional sadhana. We have to plan ahead of time. What time we are going to go to bed, what time we're going to sleep, what time we're going to take our dinner. Why? Because if you eat too late, you're not going to be able to wake up on time the next day. That's simple and pure. because energy will be drawn from the brain for digestion. And that process entails weakening of your whole system. Your body will be weak. So eating too late could be a problem. We're talking about enthusiasm and Krishna consciousness. So these look like simple things, okay? But they add up, simple things. Little drops of water could fill up this cup. Oh, yeah. So the very minor things that we may not take cognizance of are contributing factors to our sustainable enthusiasm. And therefore, it is important that we honor and respect everyone around us. Because each time we hurt somebody, it affects our enthusiasm in devotional life. When even you hurt your spouse, it affects your enthusiasm in your devotional life. Oh, yeah. So, I see, devotional service is a very simple thing, but it is also delicate. Sometimes the minute details make it delicate. Some of the things we may not take cognizance of, or we may not even neglect about it, but they add up. Especially family members, it's so easy to deplete your enthusiasm in devotional life based on your attitude towards your family members. Oh, yeah. Because each time you hurt someone, you get some negative impact. It affects your enthusiasm in devotional life. This is the psychology of hurting, or being offensive to one another. Yes, so it's a simple process, but we have to go to the nitty-gritties always, so that we maintain a high leverage in our devotional enthusiasm. The chanting is important. Services are also very important, because the regularly chanting during the Brahma Muhurta hours and doing regular service help to promote our enthusiasm in devotional life. I remember when, and this is from my own practical experience, when I joined the temple, one of the services I like to do in the morning, we call it Karma Yoga. One of the things I like to do early in the morning before Guru Puja, we do Karma Yoga in the temple. And one of the things I like to do is to wash the toilet. Because when I wash the toilet, I used to wake up very early in the morning, like 2 o'clock or something like that, to chant. So, but then the body becomes weak before 7 o'clock. And so during the Karma Yoga, if I go to wash the toilet, I will need to take a shower before the greeting of the deities. And that service that impels me to take a shower, it reignites my enthusiasm. My body was weak earlier, but then, with that service, just reignites my mood. So yes, service, if we are regularly doing some service along with our chanting, that helps a lot in sustaining our enthusiasm. So we have reading, service, chanting, good association, visiting a temple. We may say, well, I have deities at home. What do I need to go to the temple for? And someone raised that issue with me in one country when I was serving there. So I asked him, he came one time, so I said, but Prabhu, we've not been seeing you for a couple couple of Sundays. He said, "Oh, Prabhu, I have deities at home." So, I mean, no, he didn't say he has deities. He said Krishna is in his heart. Yeah, so, okay, Krishna is in your heart. Okay, good for you. So, there are all of these tendencies for someone to think, to think the other way around. But that's not a recommendation of the Acharyas. He said we should have association. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavad, all they mention this very point of devotional association, sadhu sangha. That even a moment of association with a pure soul could create amazing devotional transformation. Lord Chaitanya gave association even to subhumans, animals, and they would dance in ecstasy. So each time we have association amongst the devotees, it helps to liberate our enthusiasm. And that is something that it should be like a staple food. Association, sadhu sangha should be like a staple food. We should do it practically every day. Of course, if you are not able to go to the temple or go to some program, our families, they are all the members of the family are devotees. So we should have that mindset of associating with our families and giving association, receiving association is a matter of exchange of services, exchange of love and affection. So that suffices as a sangha. Family members are devotees. Do we treat them as devotees? Devotees are there, but then we are looking for some place to go to have sangha. You could have sangha there too, isn't it? Okay, but then you could take this to the extreme and say, well, there's a program at the temple. Or, my family members are there, I don't need to go to the temple. I don't know. Sangha, I'm having it here. Yes, so we have to see how we are taking practical steps in our Krishna consciousness to maintain our enthusiasm. And we should examine our steps practically every day. When our enthusiasm is waning, we have to do something to replenish our enthusiasm. And we can see that either we are not reading, just read every day and you see how enthusiasm is boosted. Read every day. Say, just pick, even if it's just one paragraph. It doesn't, how many minutes it will take you? One paragraph. And your purpose, Bhagavad Gita, one paragraph. How many minutes will that take you? You have 24 hours. So these strategies are very simple. It's just a matter of implementing it, and you see that you maintain a high leveraging enthusiasm in Krishna consciousness. What's the time now? Okay. Any comments or questions?
Hello, Hare Krishna Maharaj. So often the struggle is with Krishna consciousness. We spend 2.5 hours chanting. We have to cook. We don't eat outside. Reading, association, programs. We need, it feels like there's a huge chunk of the day that's required. And then on top of it, work. And it can be exhausting. It can feel exhausting. So it feels like sometimes it can become a burden. How can one still retain enthusiasm with?
Okay, that's a very good question. Is eating a burden? Eating. Eating. Answer this. Eating, is it a burden? Taking prasadam, is it a burden? You take it every day, is it a burden? No. Okay, so yeah, when we look at the whole of our lives, we can always find out that is a chunk of time we are not accountable for. We are not able to give an account of how we use it. Yeah, just take a pen. The time you wake up, write down when you wake up. And then, check yourself how you use your 24 hours of the day. Check how much time you use for sleeping. Write that down. How much time you use for eating. 3 meals. How much time you use for that. Write everything down. Shower. Write everything down. And you find out that's a chunk of time you're not able to account for how you use it. Experiment it, you see it. Because I had one friend. I had a friend from Michigan. He's now in New Jersey. He's a medical doctor. What do you call pediatrics. So he finished his MBBS in India. He got scholarship to do his MB in America. So I met him in Michigan when I went to Michigan last time. He got attracted to me, so he was traveling with me to different programs. So then, when we are going to one program, he said, Maharaj, can I ask a question? I said, of course, you're my friend. Ask any question you want. So he said, he's a medical doctor. So he said, we medical doctors, we don't have time to chant 16 rounds. We're very busy. I said, okay. It's very good. I said, very good for you. You don't have the time. So busy. So then I engaged him in this exercise. I said, how many times? Because you're studying, preparing for MD, you're studying too. So how many times you use for, how much time you use for studies every day on campus, at school, or at the hospital? How much time you use for your medical studies? So he wrote it down. I said, check out how much time you use for sleeping, 24 hours of the day, how much time? He mentioned, so he wrote it down. And see, at the end of it all, he was almost crying. He said, Maharaj, I'm so sorry. I didn't use my time properly. I love meeting people who say they don't have time to chant because they don't have time for sadhana because of work or because of schooling. I love meeting such people because I'll just engage them in this exercise and they will confess, oh, I didn't use my time properly. So yeah, it seems like overwhelming. We have to do this, we have to do that. See, the point is, if you don't engage your mind and your senses, the mind and the senses will engage you. Either we engage in our professional duties. Krishna told Arjuna, come on, do your job. This is your job. So we could say work is too much, devotional life is too much, everything is too much. What is not too much? I don't know. Everything is too much in this material world. So, yeah, it seems that we are overwhelmed with so much of workload. And I tell you, if you become self-regulated, and like Krishna mentions in the Gita 6:17, yukta hara viharasya, yukta cetasa, kamas. The eating, the sleeping, recreation, if we regulate it, we will be free from the pangs of inebriety. Problem is that we do something, so we tend to do it to the extreme. Some people work 15 hours, 12 hours. And if you're doing the type of routine work, don't plan for your children that they don't get into that type of routine work, because it will kill your inner strength when you're getting old. These things will have a setback on you. You're working for 15 hours, 12 hours because of money. Okay, you're working so hard, you don't have time for your family, you don't have time for your children. So what is the use of the money? Who is going to enjoy the money? You don't have time for your spouse. You don't have time for your children. You're working so hard. Good. But who is going to enjoy the resources, the outcome of the work? So we should think about it. And that is why one of the things I encourage young people is that they should not be mediocres. Don't settle down with 1 degree, first degree. I've graduated, let me go and work for the rest of my life and get money. With first degree, yes, you get money, but you work so many hours. And some of the employers, they engage you for so many hours. And the money they will pay you, you are not satisfied with it. So I think that there is an anomaly in our system where people are encouraged. Some preachers come to tell you, oh, you don't need to work too hard. Just be a mediocre. Just chant. And someone wrote me, a young lady from London, she wrote me, according to her, a devotee should just be a mediocre. Don't get too serious with life. Oh, yeah. Just, in her words, she said, just get what could sustain you. So this is a bizarre philosophy. Completely bizarre. I met one guy in Ohio, in Columbus. He had 3 masters. I stayed in his home. So I was asking him why he has to get 3 masters for what? Why you have to waste so much of your time and your money for all of this? 2 masters, I can understand, but 3 masters, why don't you just go straight and go get a PhD? Why you have to, take this? And he explained to me. And I resonated with him why he got those 3 masters. He said, Maharaj, all of these 3 masters are connected with my job. Now they made me a director. I don't go to work. I just stay in my home, call this person, go to this country, call this person, go to this state, call this person, do this. And then he said, I have a project, corporate preaching. So I focus on my corporate preaching, I focus on my family, I focus on my children. This is the benefit of having these skills. I say, you're very wise. Thank you for explanation. A devotee should be intelligent. Nobody likes work. Okay, you may like work, but do you love work? Anybody who loves work? We work because we want to get financial resources to boost our economic status. Nobody really loves work. So there is a route, and the young people, you're hearing me. There's a route. There's a route to take to be able to sustain yourself, buoyantly, economic-wise. And you don't need to work too hard. When you have higher skills, you work less, you get more money, and then you have more time for Krishna, you have more time for your family. Simple and short. Yeah. This is the strategy. I give this strategy to all of my followers. I remember in Calcutta, there is one boy, one temple I used to go and stay during my stays in Calcutta. So this temple it's a small temple, but it's in the most expensive area in Calcutta. So one of those devotees, the other devotees told me that he used to come to serve me when I go there. But then the devotees reported him to me that that boy is not serious with his studies. And his other 2 sisters, they excel in their studies. The younger sister has a plan. Immediately she finishes, she's going for masters. She's not being serious. She's lagging behind in his grades. So one day when I went to their temple, he came serving, doing some services and all this. So I know what devotees do when they come close to you like that to do service here and there. The next moment is Maharaj. Can you give me initiation? So I knew all of those their tricks. So then I told him that, listen, I know you like me. I know you love me. That's why you're coming to do all these services. But see, for you, I just told him, for you, see, you have your sister. Here in India, the men always make as if they are superior to their female siblings. I said, so for you, I had your sister. She has already told me immediately she graduates, she's going for her master's. For you, I heard you're not serious with your studies. For you, if you don't have a master's, no initiation for you. So the next time I visited, the guy, they told me that, that guy is fired up in his studies. They don't know what transpired, what I told him. Yeah, so sometimes we take professional development, and for the young people, we take our studies for granted. But no, it is so important. You don't have to walk like an ass. If you have higher skills, then you work less, you get more money, you have time for Krishna, your sadhana, you have time for your family. Any other comments or questions? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaji. I can figure it out there. Oh.
Hare Krishna Maharaji. Maharaji, thank you for coming to the Naperville. I wish that you would come like maybe a few years back. I don't listen a lot of classes. I'm a little bit different, but I heard your class in this morning and that was amazing. And Naperville congregation need that kind of class. And whoever is listening to me now, they should go back and listen to that class. That was very practical. Our congregation need those advice which you give in that class. So I just wanted to appreciate and thank you for coming, and please keep coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaji.
Hare Krishna. All right. In the absence of any other comments, we'd like to adjourn this meeting, except if someone else has the matter is you have something to say. Because see, sometimes people come and then they say that, these are the Krishnas, they're marginalizing women. They don't give women opportunities to serve. So, some two male devotees already asked a question.
Somebody should take it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maharaj, thank you so much. Hearing from you is really a lot of pleasure. It's very heartwarming. A question that I have is, when we advance either professionally or career or studies or different aspects of our life, one of the things that I'm contemplating is how to also be detached, or how to be more focused in a positive way. I mean, like how to keep the focus or identity being dedicated to Krishna and not getting invested in our identities such as maintainers or this or that, or things that are very natural or default with the designations that we may get in this world.
Yeah, thank you. It's an important question. Yeah, the tendency, the conditioned soul has a tendency of thinking that we are the doers. but we are not the doers. Lord Krishna said he is the prowess in man. So whatever strength we have, whatever intelligence we have, we should understand that this is all due to Krishna's special mercy. And we should dovetail, using the words of Prabhupada, we should dovetail our resources, our talents in the service of the Lord. In that way, we will not be distracted from devotional service. Yeah, that's how it works. Everybody has got some talents, and those talents should be invested in Krishna's service. Or we dovetail the outcomes of those talents in Krishna's service. And that's what you guys are doing. You build this big structure here, and you're planning to build set up another building. So this is the best way to utilize our resources in serving the Lord. We get purified by this. Sometimes we don't also, we're not consciously aware the outcome, the positive results of our investment in Krishna consciousness. I'll tell you a story. There was this lady that sponsored one set of the deities in Vrindavan. I think Radha Samasundar deity. So she was a princess at the time, and then she got married afterwards, became a queen, and she got old, she was dying, and she requested the president of Calcutta Temple to bring her the picture of the presiding deities, because that's the temple she used to visit. And then the president, he mentioned how he searched around. He couldn't find the deity picture in his home, so he consulted with other devotees. Couldn't get a picture of the deity, the presiding deity. This woman is living. That is her wish. She wants to have a picture of Radha and Krishna watching the picture until she leaves. But he couldn't help her. However, he found Radha Samasundar deity picture in his house. So he took this deity, this picture, to this Mataji and said, "Oh, Mataji, I'm so sorry. I couldn't find the presiding deity's picture anywhere. Better have this, the same Krishna. Please." Immediately this lady saw that Radha Samasundar picture. She said, "Oh, I sponsored this deity. Prabhupada wanted someone to sponsor the deity. I sponsored this deity." She said, "Krishna is amazing. Even the little service I've done, Krishna came to me at the time I'm living." Yeah, it's not about how huge we perform the service. Whatever we do for Krishna, He never forgets. He never forgets. We may do something for somebody on this planet, and they may forget. Krishna never forgets whatever service we do for Him. So, we should utilize whatever is at our disposal in our own possible ways to serve the Lord. And now we will become purified and we will not be attached to the proceeds of our accomplishments. Yeah. So one more from the ladies to balance it up.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. My appreciation and a comment. Thank you so much for the class. Very practical applications to reinforce devotional enthusiasm. One comment is when you're talking about osmotic pressure. My daughter, she is in the first year of her college.
Okay.
So she was under a lot of stress because she's rushing for business fraternities, and she was under a lot of stress. And she FaceTimed a couple of days back, and she was just sharing her experience. And she in her high school year, she had minimal association with other home programs. However, she was participating in our home programs, and she somehow transported into that phase of the home programs, and she commented saying, I'm rushing for these business fraternities, and I'm doing so many things, and Krishna, when I'm dying, he's not going to come and see which business fraternity I'm in. And she also said that, she got transported, and, she also said that she's into that race wherein, I'm thinking of what business fraternities I want to be in, the competitive ones, and then I'll think of a job, and I'll think of a home and my life and things like that. So I'm always in the race, like you always talk about the material existence in our scriptures. She also appreciated the home programs that she was participating in, and she said she was transported into those home programs when she was going through this rushing. And she appreciated that half of the population, she said half of the population, I was just thinking to myself, I hope it was half of the population at least, who participate in the home programs. They're so happy and they're so calm with no anxiety. Doing their own practices for Krishna consciousness. So that was an appreciation from her when she was in college. So when you talked about osmotic pressure, I just related to that, that though she had that minimal association, that had that impact on her. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing. All right, so where's the host? Yeah. What next? Okay. So thank you everyone for participating in this home program. You should be having home programs practically, perhaps regularly every week, because bringing the devotees together and for sharing and caring, loving each other. This is a loving exchange. That's what Rupa Goswami says. Giving prasadam, receiving prasadam, well, that's one of the symptoms of love and Krishna consciousness. So we should cultivate it. Yeah, we should have regular home programs, especially the community is made up of professionals. And so, yeah, we know that the Sunday program is there, but, if you have the time, it's also good that the devotees host home programs. That helps for, collective, expedited collective growth. Thank you very much for coming. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.